All right, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to another great Lunch and Learn. I'm Alexa Francis House here with the Purchasing Division, and today we have United Rentals here with us to tell us all about who they are and what they do. So I'm going to go ahead and ask Renee Lindler and Dee Wages to go ahead and come on camera so I can introduce them. And I will start off by telling you a little bit about their background. So there's Renee, and here comes Dee. So Renee Lindler is the government accounts manager with United Rentals that currently covers the Southeast Division territory, which includes Florida, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, Tennessee, and Puerto Rico. Her role consists of assisting government agencies along with partnering with United Rentals field sales teams to educate each on government procurement processes and help drive profitable government sales, focusing on state and local government opportunities. She's been with United Rentals for just above 18 years, starting out with a pump, power, and HVAC division in Atlanta, and then transitioning into sales and key account roles with the general rental team. Outside of work, Renee enjoys spending time with her husband, saltwater fishing, and her two Rhodesian, am I saying that right? Rhodesian Ridgeback pups? Okay. And then we have Dee Wages there at the top of your screen, who's currently a digital customer success manager at United Rentals. He's a proud graduate of Delta State University with a BSA in marketing. He was inspired to pursue a career in the rental equipment industry with a father that owned a steel construction company. So prior to working as a digital customer success manager, he was a strategic account manager with United Rentals, where he was responsible for successfully managing a regional book of business. Dee Wages has 24 years experience in the equipment rental industry. So let's go ahead and welcome them. And I'm going to go ahead and transfer over to them for them to take on today's presentation. As you guys know, if you have any burning questions while they're presenting, please feel free to type those in the chat, and then we will address those towards the end. All right, without further ado, Dee and Renee.
Okay. Good morning. Can everybody hear me okay?
Yes, we can.
Okay. Sorry, I said good morning. I'm an hour behind you guys, so it is morning here. But so thankful to be on the Lunch and Learn here. We're going to go over, I'm going to share my screen real quick, and we're going to go over our Total Control platform. This is something that Renee had asked to show everyone and just kind of show you guys how you can best utilize this to your advantage when it comes to managing your equipment orders and everything as far as through this online system. So I just want to qualify on this on the beginning. We are not looking at you guys' account because there's no activity on there right now. So in order to do the best demonstration, I just pulled an account to look at that won't have any crossover with anything you guys are doing. But so this is the dashboard view of our Total Control system, the platform. So once you would see your account number here, and we can give everyone their own individual sign in, and your name would appear here at the top. And when you log in, this is what you would see. This is our dashboard version. You can see there's some other tabs across the top. The dashboard takes several of these tabs across the top, puts them right here on one screen. That makes them easy to look at and kind of view things like that. And we're going to go over this really quick and just for a few minutes, and then I think we've got some time for some questions at the end. So anyway, as you can see, as we said, the desktop version here, or the this dashboard view, you're able to see everything that you've got on rent, and you can see it's broken out in different columns. You can see your rentals and rentals, upcoming activity, telematics, invoices, and purchase orders. You also, the first thing you'll see is a filter across the top. So while we're looking at this as an entire account view, so this would be all of Broward County view, you can drill down into this and filter. So you could filter by job site or by the person who ordered it. So you would actually able to specifically look at the things that are pertinent for you and the things that you ordered, and you can hit filter. They will stay filtered that way. Even if you log out and back into the system, they'll stay that way until you actually hit the clear button and clear those. So as we said, the first one will show rentals. So it just shows you the items on rent, how many are scheduled for pickup, how many are overdue, and different things like that. Anything that you see that's in blue is a live link. So you can click on this items on rent tab, and it pulls everything up that's on rent there. You'll see there's a specific contract number that you'll see, the information around purchase order and who ordered it and things like that. And you'll see that there's you'll have two action items here. The one on the right is more for the contract itself, so that you can update a transaction, like you could change a PO if you needed to, update a PO, even change the amount of time. If you said that you wanted it for a certain amount of time and you want to keep it longer, you can extend dates that way. The other action tab is specific more to the piece of equipment. So this allows you to do your own service calls, your own pickups, different things like that. If it has telematics on there, you're able to look at utilization and find the equipment on the map and things like that if you want to. There's also a filter at the top. So if you wanted to, if it's a lot of information and you needed to filter down, you just type in a word and it'll filter out a little bit better there. And as we said, so it gives you information around your rentals. And then it's specifically the overdue. So overdue is not always a bad word. It's just about giving us information about items that have been kept longer than what you intended. So for example, this is a place to kind of watch for cost savings. So if you've got to, just say you gave us an order and said you wanted it for 2 weeks, you've gone past that 2 weeks is what this is telling you. You may be fine with it. Your project may have gone a little longer, and it's good that you're fine that it did go past 2 weeks. But sometimes things get rented and we all get busy and we forget that they're there. So that's why that's there, to let you know, so that you can try to keep it, that rental amount you intended to be the amount. Next is upcoming activity. This is automatically filtered to 7 days. You can make it whatever you would like. Just click it. As we said, anything that's in blue is an actionable link. But this just gives you a snapshot of what's going to happen with your account. So it would tell you what's coming up in the next 7 days, whether that be reservations, or if you have some pending dues that may be rolling into overdue, or do you have some type of a 4-week bill? So have you had something that's been on rent for a month and you've got a cycle bill that's going to be coming in? It lets you know that those are going to be coming in before you actually get them. So just a little bit there to kind of give you a forward look on your account. As you may or may not know, United Rentals installs telematics on most of their mobile equipment. So this is things that they do require an operator. There, you will also see telematics on things like light towers or generators and compressors, things that are towable like that. And that telematics is going to report information into our system, like GPS telematics, about where the machine is located. But it also gives us information about utilization. So a normal rental period for a piece of equipment is an 8-hour day, a 40-hour week, 160-hour month. And if a machine is not being utilized for a total, just say if it went for 7 days and never registered a tick on the hour meter, you would get a notification in here that would look like this. And you can actually open that up and see, for example, this one hasn't been used in 15 days, 15 days, 15 days, 13 days. Just more notification, especially if you're wanting to find ways for cost savings. Utilization and those overdues are two of the really quick levers that you can pull to make sure that you're getting the most for your dollars that you're spending on the rental side. So, like I said, if someone orders something and it sits there and it doesn't get used, or it just got forgotten about or something like that, it lets you know that so that you can make whatever type of adjustments that you need to. The next section is about invoices. It's pretty self-explanatory, but it does break everything out into the different aging buckets so that you'll know how old an invoice is. You can click each one and it'll pull up just the ones that are in that bucket of time, or that time frame. Also, if there's any credits that are ever owed to your account, those will be broken out to the side and you would see them this way. I'm going to come back to purchase orders in just a second, but I wanted to skip down. There is an interactive map at the bottom also that you can drill down into and see location of equipment. You can see it this way as well. And you're also able to go in and make, service calls. You can click directly. Just so, for example, if you find a piece of equipment that is on here, you can actually click right on that piece of equipment and take an action from there, like a service call or a pickup or something as well. and things that you are even able to include on this map if you check the box here to include non-GPS enabled equipment. So that's another feature that's there. So I mentioned that I was going to go over purchase orders separately. So if you click on I like to use the PO tab here at the top a little bit, but to me it's a little bit more informative than going through the dashboard here. But when you click this, it'll open up a different window, and you're able to go in and see the purchase orders that you have open and the ones that are closed and different things like that. So what I typically do is go to the open, and I go to open contracts and click this twice. And what that does, it moves everything to the top of to the top line that has a contract on it. And what this allows you to do is kind of track cost on a PO through the life of that PO. So you're able to go in here and see how much has already been invoiced against a purchase order, how much is accruing, and accruing means that it's in the middle of a billing cycle right now, but you haven't gotten the bill yet. And then sometimes there's a projected number on there, and that projected number is based on how long you told us you wanted to keep a piece of equipment. So just say it's a long-term rental and you wanted to keep it for multiple months. This is how much would be, and just say you're a month and a half into it, it would show how much is going still bill if you keep it through the life of the rental that you said you wanted. So allows you to go through and track those. You're even able to add a value if you need to, so that these two numbers would track against one another, so you would know what your balance is. So now I don't know if that's something that would be useful to you guys, but if it is, it's there for you. So also if you would like to see more of the legacy view of the rental, of that rental screen that we're showing you here, you can go to this rentals tab, and it shows everything in more of a spreadsheet type view. Once this loads, you'll see the action tabs on the left, just like we were showing before, where you can update that PO. You can check the delivery status to kind of follow that through the process, those pickups and service calls as well. And if it has telematics installed, you'll be able to look at utilization and things like that. Now, the first time you log in, your screen may not have as many columns as what you see here displayed on my screen. You can simply go to this select columns section right here, and you're able to customize to an extent based on what information is available. So anything that you checked with a blue check box would show as a column there. So you're able to go in and kind of make your page look the way you want it to look, and show the information that's important to you. But you're able to see, who ordered it, job names, things like that. You're even able to see rate calendar that would show you, it'll break it down by the different days. It'll show you rates at the top once it loads here. And say, so this rental is going to start tomorrow. So this is day one. This is a 2 days. And now we've hit our week rent, so it turns green because we're in leniency. So the week is up after 7 days. And then we start a new week. So it's a week plus a day. And just to let you kind of see where you are in your rental cycle and know how many dollars you've accumulated to that point. Also information on here about whatever the piece of equipment. You can add columns, as I was showing you with the customization, about make, model, serial number, things like that, start dates. If it has telematics on it, as we said, it'll show right here as a yes or a no. And you can even see information about how much it's been used and use averages and things like that. So as I say a lot of times in these presentations, this system will do a lot of things. But it's best to kind of pick out the things that are important to you, that make your job easier, make your easier to manage the equipment that you have rented, and provide those cost savings, and just use it for those advantages. If it's specifically anyone needs to pay invoices, the invoices tab is here. As we said, you can set up payment options through there. They can do that. There are reports that can be set up in the system. A lot of customers get a weekly on rent report that they'll set up for themselves. You can set that up in here as well, to where you would get an email. Just say on every Monday morning, you would get an email, and it would show everything that's on rent for this particular account. So this is just a way to have the information pushed out to you without actually having to be in the system. There's a rental history tab there that allows you to go back and look at past rentals. So if you're doing a project that's similar to one you did several months ago, and you want to go back and see what you rented and how long you rented it and things like that, There's information that's in there that's really good for any type of estimating and things along those lines. And then the other thing that I wanted to point out here is the alerts tab. So one thing that's unique about our system is we are able to push information out to you without you having to be in the system. So you can set up a series of alerts that for a lot of different things. So one of them, like we talked about earlier, those overdues and pending dues and things like that. So some of the more popular alerts that people set up are like a rental pending due alert. And so, for example, if this, again, we're talking back on that 2-week rental, on day 13, you would get a notification just reminding you that your rental's coming due the next day. Allows you to keep that spending in the window that you intended for it to be in. Also, we talked about low utilization earlier. There's an alert that you can set up for here. Now, I will tell you, as we mentioned on the dashboard, that's a 7-day default on the dashboard. If you set this alert up, though, you can make it be however many days you want it to be. You can make it 1 day or 3 days or something like that. So if you want to make that threshold a little lower, you can do that. So there's alerts here for that. There's ones for things are going overdue and different things. So there's a lot of different things you can set up as far as alerts. And as I said, that allows the information to be pushed out to you without you ever having to even be in the system. And we can help you set those up to where you get them either through email or through text message or both if you prefer. So we can do that either way. And the last thing I want to go over just on a high view here, and then we'll throw it out for questions, is the Help Center button. So the Help Center here is really the online tutorial for our total control system. So for example, paying invoices, offering equipment, and or service requests that's the 3 most requested things that people are doing in the system. But there's other tabs here around invoice and bill pay management. You can see all the different tutorials here. Rental management, there's all sorts of different things under these different columns. But what this will do, for example, is after this call, you want to explore the system, you want to get logged in, and you want to say, all right, well, how do I go about doing, do a pickup or do a service request? So it's really, really simple. If you go to the Help Center and just say you click service request, the system will then flip over automatically into the page that you need to be in. And then it'll set up once it catches up here, it will set up you'll see instruction boxes pop up like this. And it'll say hover over the item that you want to do the service call on, and then select request service. And then it will pop up in the box and it'll just walk you step by step through each function you need to do. So confirm the unit, select this, validate that, confirm this, all the way through until it prompts you to hit the submit button. Now, I will tell you, if you're going through and just doing this, if you walk through the process, because this is a live system, and hit submit, you did actually just put in a service call or a pickup for that piece of equipment. So if you're just doing this just to view it and see how it works, please don't hit the submit button unless you actually intend to do that, because you will have to call the branch and tell them to cancel that pickup or cancel that service call or something like that. So, but you can see it, we make it really easy to be able to go in and just do those functions and those, like I said, those we call them walk me's through this Help Center here. I'll just walk you step by step right through everything. So trying to make that as easy as possible and kind of help you learn on the fly there. So that's kind of a general overview that I just wanted to show. Mr. Alexa, we can throw it back to you for questions. If anybody has a question about the system, we'll be happy to answer a specific question at this time.
Sure. Dee, I wondered if, before we get into the questions, if you could kind of give us a brief overview of like United Rentals, what kinds of equipment do people usually rent from you? Like what is a general overview of kind of what you guys do?
Okay, I'm gonna let Renee handle that piece.
Renee, you're muted. I'm sorry.
You're on.
Can you guys hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Sorry about that. Yes, thank you, Dee. So you guys do have an account with United Rentals because you are a government agency. You do have an account with United Rentals, and you guys do have discounted government pricing in our system. We rent forklifts. We have aerial equipment such as large boom lifts, scissor lifts. We've got the all-terrain forklifts. We have pickup trucks. We now have a new flooring division. The flooring division does a lot of work with like the airport and a lot of the schools and universities in the area. So yes, we've got a shipping container facility now in Miami that's not far from you guys. We do mobile offices. And we now have porta potty division, what we call reliable on-site services. So we've got the really nice portable restrooms with the restroom trailers that have air conditioning, the hand washing stations, and so on. We did a lot of work with FEMA back during COVID, for the hand washing stations and so on. So yes, we are growing month by month, and I'm sure Dee can attest to this. We're always acquiring other companies and adding, new specialty items to our fleet. So a lot. And I can, Alexa, if you want, I can actually send you a digital catalog after this meeting if you'd like to send it out to everyone.
Sure. I just wanted to make sure everyone kind of understood, like as a whole, what is United Rentals and kind of like what is available through you all. Okay. The question that I see in the chat, and if anyone else has any additional questions, feel free to go ahead and type them in there now. Is United Rental open to allowing Broward County to utilize the Sourcewell contract, and they've given the contract number, for equipment rental and offer special Broward County pricing? And I think you kind of touched on that a little bit. So if you want to elaborate.
Yes, and that's an excellent question. So yes, you guys do have an account with United Rentals, and that account is uploaded with the Sourcewell cooperative agreement that you guys have. So you do have very nice discounted pricing in our system. We have with Sourcewell what they call not to exceed pricing. So meaning wherever you rent from in the world with United Rentals, our sales reps know that those rates cannot be exceeded. And a lot of times when you call in, or if you go through Total Control and you request a rental or so on, you're going to get your government rates, but a lot of times those not to exceed rates are actually going to be discounted. They do provide better discounting in the field based on the need and the utilization of where you guys are located. So yes, you guys are a member of Sourcewell, and that is loaded to your account in our system. Great question.
Okay. All right. I'm not seeing any additional questions in the chat. I think everybody is just still processing all the great information. Do you have any additional information on the website that you want to show us? Are there any key takeaways about you guys, and what's the process? So if someone wants to order something through you, what is the process? Do they log in and then they go through these dashboards? Is that what Dee you're explaining?
Well, they are absolutely able to do that. But there's a lot of different ways you can order from United Rentals. They can contact the local branches. They can speak to someone there. They can, if there is a specific local sales rep that's calling on them, they can order that way. We try to make it as easy as possible, right through our website, through the Total Control system. There's a lot of different ways you can order, so it just really depends on what you want to do. And I will add also, as Renee mentioned, we have so many different divisions, from our general rental division to our power division, our pump division, flooring, and things like that. This system allows you to see everything that's rented from across all those different divisions. So if they are renting from different things, just say you have some general rental and a generator and a porta-john and different things, or a mobile trailer or a storage trailer, all show up under your account right here, so you can see it all in one space.
Okay. Another question here in the chat. If we had or have a contract now or in the future, can there be a punch out catalog in the Bonfire system?
Yes.
PeopleSoft system.
So can you guys still hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. So yes, Mr. Gleason, that is an excellent question. We do have a punch out system with United Rentals, and we get a lot of requests from this from our government agencies such as yourself. And if you guys are interested in having a punch out system established for Broward County, by all means, we can set that up. So that way, when you guys log in, you have your contract there, the pricing, the types of equipment that are on the contract. So yes, sir, we can definitely do that. And I'll be more than happy to help you with that if you want to move forward. Just let me know.
Okay, thank you so much, Renee and Dee. I'm not seeing any additional questions in the chat. If they have any questions, is there any contact information for you guys that you can put up on the screen here for us, or if you can drop it in the chat?
Yes, I'll try to drop it in the chat. I can attach my business card. I am your government accounts manager for Broward County and the state of Florida. I will try to put that in the chat. If it doesn't go through, can I email that over to you and you forward that out? Would that be okay?
Absolutely.
Okay,
All right.
wonderful.
And as I'm not seeing any additional questions, let's go ahead and thank United Rentals for coming out virtually and presenting in our Lunch and Learn today. We learned a lot of great information about their company, who they are and what they do. And if you know of anyone who this information may be relevant to after the session, after we post the session on our Lunch and Learn playlist, feel free to share the link. All right. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.